Again from downtown Main Street. It's just a bit chilly. If you saw any of my Instagrams, you may have saw that I posted some shot we were dancing. We were dancing right here in front of this window because there was a big band set up right out here in the street, and this is where I took that video that was really dark, right in this corner. It's funny how when the New Year's celebration is here, this whole block has food on it, and there was a big stage here, and there was carnival rides and food and entertainment. And it was just 2 days ago. I'm trying to think, what day was that? It was Sunday night, I guess. It was New Year's Eve. But that's where we were, in front of Sur La Table, I guess that's called. Just as I was standing there, a security guy come up to me and asked me, "Excuse me, sir, are you waiting for the bus?" And I said, "No." He said, "Are you shopping?" And I said, "No." He goes, "So are you, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm walking." He goes, "Oh, okay, because the owner doesn't want anybody, people hanging out in front of the building. So make sure you don't hang out in front of that place." I think they're talking about homeless people, but today, it's about 42 degrees outside. We've had this, I think the eastern, the East Coast, my iPad earphones, I can't hear myself talk. The East Coast has had this record freezing temperatures, and including Florida too is getting a lot of this cold. I think it was in 30s last night. And for Florida, that is not normal. Rarely do we have 40 degrees at 10:30 in the morning. Rarely. Anyway, I do get amazed like how, like I said, Sunday night, full of stuff. Full of food booths and beer booths and carnival rides and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then if you came out here 6 a.m. the next morning, it would all be cleaned up and gone. All the fair rides, you know how those fair rides are like they pack up all into a truck, like they're like hydraulically folded up into a truck. This is weird because I can't hear very good. I can hear better. I got my hat on underneath here, and then I got my hoodie on, and then I got 3 layers of clothing. I'm not complaining about the cold. Let's get that straight. Not a complaint. Let's go through the alley over here, because I always walk down this street for some reason. I always end up walking down there. We'll go down the nether areas, the dark regions, darker, dirtier garbage regions of Sarasota, downtown Sarasota. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about New Year's and New Year's resolutions. I don't normally go for the resolution thing. Like, people are like, "What's your New Year's resolution?" I think it's like, it's a lot more deeper than like a one-word answer, a one-line answer of just like, "Oh, I'd like to get in shape this year. I want to drop a couple pounds. I want to start eating better." I try to think about something realistic. What's realistic for a New Year's goal? And a lot of times I'll look at this truck. It's a New England Patriots edition truck. It's got the little logos in the corner. That's interesting, huh? Who knew that existed? My hands are basically freezing right now. Like I said, being in Florida, we do not have these long spells of cold weather. Usually in the daytime it'll warm up. A cold day would be in the 60s probably. That would be considered cold if you lived in Florida, in like central Florida in Sarasota. That would be a pretty breezy day toward the middle of the day. I think it's only going to top out in maybe like 51 today. So that's considerably, I don't think I can go all the way down here because there's a big building down here. Look at all the garbage out here. Interesting garbage, isn't it? Never been down here before. This is like a big fancy, hope I don't get yelled at again. Big fancy hotel type place. Not a hotel, I'm sorry, apartment buildings. 10 years ago these weren't here. These big fancy places with the fancy VIP parking like this, where people pay a lot of money to park here. Valet. I don't know what this building's called. It has an initials, the P. Man, like when I walked here, my hands were in my pockets, so my hands weren't so cold. But now, it makes me wish I would have brought my gloves. Like I said, if you live up north, you're more used to that 40, 30, you know, you guys are getting blizzards now and like record snow up north. I guess it's the eastern part of North America, whatever America. The nation. You can see there's some remnants of the new, man, my arm's getting tired too. Man. It's like a whole different ball game. Now my left hand feels like, or my right hand feels like it was in a thing of ice. There's some barricades. They had a big concrete barricade right there. And they had, I think they had carnival games right here. And all kinds of food stuff here. Like I said, it always amazes me. You can come out here the next day, it looks like nothing ever happened. It's amazing the way when you change the landscape of a downtown area, it has a whole different vibe to it. Looks like there's some concrete barriers still over there where those cones are. The whole landscape changes. There were those rides like the Gravitron thing that spins real fast and you can't get off the thing. Then they had the one like fast swings here. Then they had some kind of other one that was like little cars where you spin around in a circle. And there was food booths all over this area. I didn't really film any of it because I was with my girlfriend, and when I'm with my girlfriend, I always try to spin. Is this doing this again? Oh, there we go. Last time I did that live from the beach. Oh, did I mention this thing? Can you even see that? I found this on the ground. It's one of those light up things. These little has LEDs, and these little thingies lit up. It had like these little whatever. I don't know what those are. They're like light fiber. But I found this on the ground, like way down the street down there. I didn't expect to find any down here, but you know, they sell these in those carts full of stuff. I don't think it works anymore. I think the battery probably, I don't think you'd be able to see it if it was on anyway. I think I'll just put that in the garbage. I meant to talk about that when we first started going live. That was weird. Alright, so yeah, back to the New Year's resolution thing. Oh, last time I went live, there's usually an X there, and I don't know if I just didn't see it because it was right out, but when you want to stop going live, I think you hit the X and that stops your live stream. And last time I did a video at the beach, I couldn't figure out how to... There's some little sparrows in the water over there. See those little birdies? They were getting a little drink. Seems like the animals act different on whenever it's why can't I talk? It's so hard to put my glasses on. Whenever the temperature changes like this, the animals in Florida don't know what to do. Like I said, it may get down to the 40s in the mornings, like, you know, in the middle of the night, like at, you know, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. it would be 40 degrees. But during the daytime like this, usually not quite this cold. Yesterday it was at about 2 o'clock, it was about 51 degrees. And we went out to the beach and walked around the beach, and here's some of those barriers I was talking about for New Year's. They had these big concrete barriers to block off the streets. So I'm imagining to safety measures to keep people from driving into people. We, like you've seen on TV where people drive into crowds, so that was really smart that they have these things. They look pretty heavy. Looks like that would keep a car or a large truck from running into people. It's sad that we have to have that on our mind, really. It's one sad thing about 2017 is all those terrorist type things that were going on with the people running people over in cars. I mean, you can't totally stop that kind of thing. Unfortunately, that's the unfortunate part is that we just have to keep living our lives and keep going on as with our lives, because otherwise terrorism wins. I thought those people were following me there. Sorry, I'm still getting over my cold. I'm still like spitting up stuff, so if I do that, I apologize. But anyway, there's a really old building right there. It says the Warren building. That pink building right there is a building, I believe, from the 20s. Some of the giveaways is like when they used to make the old buildings, they used to do these little fancy little peaks up there, and they have like a little tile. It's hard to see because they painted over it, but they have like a little tile thing there. I don't know how easy that is to see. I forgot to turn my tone brightness up. Did I say tone brightness? My phone brightness I forgot to turn up. And the other thing is, like, they'll have these little pieces of stonework. Like, plus it says the Warren building, so that's something left over from like the 20s and 30s where they would name the building and they would put the building's name. Like a lot of these new buildings, nothing. No fancy. That's the one thing I miss about older buildings, but you see these things. I'm not sure what you call it, stonework design or some kind of placard thing. But you can kind of see some leftover. They should have left that's a sad thing, they didn't leave the brickwork out. But then you kind of got these old-fashioned water drains and stuff, and that's kind of a giveaway to this fact that this building is an older building, which I really enjoy, the older architecture. You always have to build, sorry. You always have to build new stuff, you know, progress. But it's cool that they have kept these buildings, because right now we're in the middle of like a building boom. So here's another cool thing is there's a guy that lives in town that decorates these bikes and leaves them chained to these poles and stuff so you can come by and enjoy them. And this is like, I used to call him a flamingo bike. Basically because he used to put a lot of flamingos. This is a painted flamingo right here, and then there's like a little pigeon. And he's done these really cool bikes where it's like he themes them. And the one time I talked to him one day because I saw him riding one of these bikes, and he told me that he just enjoys decorating. He works downtown, and that the one bike said "Ring a Bell for Peace" bike, and it had all these bells on there. And I just like the psychology there. He just does it not to make any money or anything, just does it for fun. He's kind of an interesting guy. I think he's actually like I don't know what you call a puppet person, a puppet artist, whatever you call that. But this is like an artsy area where the theater is and everything. Anyway, let's go back to New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I don't necessarily, you know, hey, what's your New Year's resolution? It's like I try to just focus on goals, which is like a resolution, I guess. This is another new building right here that's going in. I don't really know what it is, if it's just an apartment building or what, but a lot of fancy high-rise buildings going on. What the heck is that? Something is blowing in my face right here. What is that? A thread? Thread from my jacket. A long thread. Ugh. Can you see that? Dang it. Ugh. Give me a break, dude. Alright. Now that we got the thread out of my face. Yeah, so I think my New Year's resolutions this year, or my goals, will be to continue on from what's going on, what I've been trying to accomplish this year with the videos, and to somewhat try to raise the level. Look at that pretty mural over there of a lady doing something. Raise the bar. You know, I'm always trying to get better. Maybe not the production value is not necessarily better. Maybe it's still shaky, and maybe it's still you know, hastily shot, but hopefully the framing better, maybe better shots. Lately I've been like really impatient about editing, so this is why I do a lot of these streaming videos. I guess you could call, part of it is called laziness, and part of it is called impatience. Just quicker, because what I've been doing, the problem I've been having this year is that I will shoot a video and I will take it home, and then it will get buried in electronic, buried in electronicness, and I don't do the video. Like I did this one of these great manatees, and it's still buried, and I haven't gotten around to finishing it, which kind of stinks. I don't know what that building is right there. I don't recognize that one. It says social something. Kind of interesting though. You can look in the window. I used to come down this section a lot and walk by this building. This building, look at that. It looks like they just redid this part. This, I don't know what that is, what you call that. This stonework part. I don't know if that's made out of like marble or concrete. Feels like concrete. This building was the original Sarasota Times building. Looks like it's about a 3-story with like a rooftop thing. Like I said, you can tell those old buildings because they have those placard things up top. It's got a seashell up there. And the owner did a really cool job at restoring this back. I'm assuming it's more like when it was in the old days. He's got this old, I don't think this was here, this light post is pretty cool. An old school light post. And I think they've redone the interior. See, it actually says on this thing right here, Sarasota Times building, First Street, constructed in 1926. It has a historical designation by the city of Sarasota. I didn't know that until I looked it up, but when this building was closed for a long time and nobody was doing it, it was a restaurant, and then I saw them working on it, and I meant to go in there and get a look at the inside, and I never followed through on that, unfortunately. But you can kind of see it's very interesting looking. Has these multi-levels, got a roof, got these smokestacks and stuff. It's got like a this part used to be, that part used to be like a rooftop dining, which is really cool. All right, so I guess I need to sort of finish my thoughts. What time are we on? 17 minutes goes by fast, I'll tell you what. So, continue, yeah, my goals are to continue doing better videos, more interesting content, of course. I got kind of bogged down in the summertime and in the fall, just not wanting to really shoot any videos. So, yeah, and I want to get out of my comfort zone. That's like one main goal is that some of the stuff I don't do, like I want to go do something boating wise on the water, because we have so much, you know, water and, you know, sailing and skiing here. I haven't got that many friends that do that. And the people that I know, their boat was broken for half the year, so it's possible something that I may be able to shoot. Oh no, also, I haven't had a GoPro. So a lot of times I have to take a cell phone and stick it in one of those little like Ziploc bag things and film with that, and that's not very conducive to being able to hold. It's really hard to hold, so I ended up getting like a cheap GoPro setup, and now I can like put straps on it or strap it to my helmet or get the accessories, you know, for like a wrist or something, and be able to film something in the water related. Check out this scooter. A vintage, well-worn scooter there, just kind of hanging out. So that's about it, I think. Just sort of just hunkering down and focusing. For me, this is like a really tough thing. It's always challenging to come up and challenge yourself to come up with new video ideas as opposed to doing the same thing over and over, which is the easy thing. You know, I do a lot of videos on hiking because it's a little bit easier to do. It's more my comfort zone. So I think that's what I'm going to focus on, is possibly I did one thing that was out of my comfort zone, and I did that ropes course that was like 10, 20, 30 foot up in the air. That was a little on the scary side because my fear of heights. I do have a bit of a fear of heights, but once I got up there, my fear went away completely, and it was like really crazy how that worked out. So I'm continuing to pushing my boundaries of comfort and do something that's out of my comfort zone, as well as, you know, try to interview people and do stories that I normally wouldn't be comfortable, you know, maybe interviewing people or talking to people and having to do stuff like that. That's what tends to be a big challenge for me. So let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. And today is a small type of thing. What do you got? What is it? A dead lizard? It's a gecko? Oh. It's a lizard? That guy was holding something, like hanging out of his... He was holding it like this, like a dead mouse. It was a gecko. I guess he was putting it over in the bushes. I thought it was like a little snake or something. Yeah, today is like something new. I'm out jogging when it's 40 degrees, so I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think it's ever been this cold during the daytime. And I've been jogging out. Look at the sky though. The wind is like pushing all the clouds. See if I can get it sit still for 2 seconds. Look at how fast the clouds are going. Can you see that? Like the clouds up high are staying still, but the low clouds are being pushed out. Very interesting. Kind of a cloud watcher. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys are having a good New Year's. If you have a New Year's resolution you want to put in the comments down below, I'd be happy to like read them and maybe reply if you have any New Year's resolutions. It'd be interesting to see. I hope you guys are having a good year so far. It's January 2nd. Now if I can figure out how to turn this off, it'll be a complete success. Hopefully if I hit this X right here, we'll say, I'll see you next time, guys.